Hi everyone, my name is Haley Hainline. On February 23rd, I attended the virtual GAP meeting for about almost 2 hours, and this is my reaction video. I do have some notes around, so I'll be glancing at those to make sure I'm hitting all my topics. So the GAP meeting was a little bit different than I expected. It seemed like there were a handful of members who were prior healthcare, and we didn't have the opportunity to ask and clarify, but I got that impression based on the jargon that was being used, the things discussed, and also they wanted to hear from students. Once they saw that students were in the meeting, then they were interested to hear from us and get our feedback based on some policies that are in progress right now that I'll discuss later. So there were a handful of members, and there was one chair member who led the meeting as well as other lobbyists, and it seemed really well organized. They went through, they had like a list and an agenda as well as topics that were previously discussed and not quite agreed upon. And so they would go one by one and go around and each ask whether they're going to accept, reject, or object these, and then they would have a discussion about it. I was surprised to see that there are aspects all over the place, things being discussed in every agenda and topic that you can really think of. And that was just in one meeting. So I can't imagine like everything that gets covered in these meetings and how beneficial it is for us in our future. This is our future career that things are being discussed about that are going to affect us. And I just had no idea this was even an opportunity for nursing. So it was really intriguing and I was really interested to see the process. And I was also thankful to have these supporters and these members really keeping an eye on things for us, for our well-being and whatnot. I was also surprised to see that states are working together. Like there was a committee in Kansas who wanted our support for a bill um, that they did not want to agree with, but they still mentioned it and had to discuss it in any case. But other states are working together to try and get things moved and passed and advocate for. Some policies that discussed, the one that stuck out to me the most was the sales taxes the exemption for diapers and menstrual hygiene products. I was unaware that this was even happening, and I was also unaware that there was a need for it. So it was really eye-opening and enlightening. Other things mentioned were emergency mental health, some Medicaid assistance for victims of torture, as well as staffing ratios. And then also one that they asked for student feedback on was the COVID-19 visitor policy in hospitals. It was nice of them to want to hear from us. I do think it'd be beneficial to have a practicing nurse in these meetings and part of this committee. I'm not sure how that could happen, but it sounds like when you're, in the field, on the ground, that's where a lot of these decisions are going to be affecting. So it'd be nice to have somebody practicing at the moment as well. Um, and then my main takeaways was just I was really surprised and thankful that this community of members even exists. And I really had no idea. So it was really nice to hear people advocating for us and that we have supporters who just want to get these policies and bills in place for our well-being as well as the patient's well-being. And just to know how much people care. And then I was just surprised at how collaborative and how detailed it is. Um, and I also liked that it was able to really build on the way our course was. We were able to build on things, and then by the time we were able to do this policy practicum, we were able to really put pieces together. So, from week in module one, when we were looking at various policies that were in the House right now and just what's active in the government and what's being talked about, and then all the way up to our policy brief, and then getting to see how these levels actually play out. So I just think it was at a good time in the semester, and we're still learning so much about it. And again, like I was just more shocked and surprised. I had no idea that this was possible. I know I've said that a couple times, but that's my main takeaway is just being thankful and really surprised and shocked. Um, and then I think that about covers all of my topics that I wanted to touch on, and I've had a great semester, and I hope you have too. Thanks.